Nagati
Sumadhyama
Sumadhyama
Choni Varakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Shoni Bhavakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Javena
Javena
Visramsita
Vishramsita
Kesha
Kesha
Bandhana
Bandhana
Javena Visramsita Kesha Bandhana
Javena Vishramsita Kesha Bandhana
Chuta
Chuta
Prasunanugatihi
Prasunanagati
Paramrishat
Paramrishat
Chuta Prasunanugati Paramrishat
Chuta Prasunanagati Paramrishat.
Devotees.
Faut lire déjà.
Ok, une fois encore.
Oui, vraiment.
Anvanchamana Janani Brihach Chalach
Anvanchamana Janani Brihashalash
Troni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Shoni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Javena Visramsita Kesha Bandhana
Javena Vishramsita Kesha Bandhana
Chuta Prasunanugati Paramrishat
Chuta Prasunanagati Paramrishat Andam Shamana Janani Brihashalash
Vanchamana Janani Brihach Chalach
Shoni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Troni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Javena Vishramsita Kesha Bandhana
Javena Visramsita Kesha Bandhana
Chuta Prasunanagati Paramrishat
Chuta Prasunanugati Paramrishat
Anvanchamana Janani Brihachalat
Anvanchamana Janani Brihach Chalach
Shoni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Shoni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama
Javena Vishamsita Kesha Bandhana
Javena Visramsita Kesha Bandhana
Chuta Prasunanugati Paramrishatat
Chuta Prasunanugati Paramrishat Anvanchamana Janani Brihach Chalach Troni Bharakranta Gati Sumadhyama Javena Visramsita Kesha Bandhana Chuta Prasunanugati Paramrishat. Word for word. Anvanchamana.
Anvanchamana
Following Krishna very swiftly. Janani. Mother Yashoda. Brihach Chalach Shroni. Bhara Akranta Gatihi. Being overburdened by the weight of her large breasts, she became tired and had to reduce her speed. Sumadhyama, because of her thin waist. Javena, because of going very fast. Visramsita Kesha Bandhana, from her arrangement of hair which had become loosened. Chuta Prasuna Anugatihi, she was followed by the flowers falling after her. Paramrishat, finally captured Krishna without fail. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. While following Krishna, Mother Yashoda Her thin waist, overburdened by her heavy breasts, naturally had to reduce her speed. Because of following Krishna very swiftly, her hair became loose, and the flowers in her hair were falling after her. Yet she did not fail to capture her son Krishna. Purport. Yogis cannot capture Krishna by severe penances and austerities, but Mother Yashoda, despite all obstacles, was finally able to catch Krishna without difficulty. This is the difference between a yogi and a bhakta. Yogis cannot enter even the effulgence of Krishna. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti kotishu. Brahma Samhita 5:40. In that effulgence, there are millions of universes, but yogis and jnanis cannot enter that effulgence, even after many, many years of austerities, whereas bhaktas can capture Krishna simply by love and affection. This is the example shown here by Mother Yashoda. Krishna therefore confirms that if one wants to capture him, one must undertake devotional service. Bhaktamam abhijanati yavanyascha tattvataha tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. Bhagavad Gita 18:55. Bhaktas even enter the planet of Krishna very easily, but the less intelligent yogis and jnanis, by their meditation, remain running after Krishna. Even if they enter Krishna's effulgence, they fall down. Verse again. While following Krishna, Mother Yashoda, her thin waist overburdened by her heavy breasts, naturally had to reduce her speed. Because of following Krishna very swiftly, her hair became loose and the flowers in her hair were falling after her. Yet she did not fail to capture her son, Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai. So I would like to beg the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, because without blessings we cannot do anything. So I really need your mercy. Please bless me. I hope to say something that is in line with Shastra and pleasing to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. So I'm so fortunate to be able to talk about this verse and this wonderful Leela, Damodar Leela, because there are so many layers of meaning in this Leela and so many messages we can take for our own application. And I would like to talk about especially how we can apply this in our lives. But first, I just want to briefly mention the connection of this pastime with Srimati Radharani. Because we actually worship Radha Damodar, right? Srila Prabhupada was so attached to Radha Damodar. He stayed there before coming to the West. And he said this is the hub of the wheel of the universe. It's the most important place for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And we also know that in the Damodarastakam, the last verse, many devotees really like this part. It says, Namo Radhikaye Tvadiyapriyaye, Namo Nantalilaya Tvadiyapriyaye. So there is a connection to Srimati Radharani. I found that Jiva Goswami actually said that in the spiritual world, one time Krishna was late to a meeting with Srimati Radharani, and she became upset. So she took her golden belt and she tied him up. And Krishna was very happy actually by this pastime. He actually said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was stuck at home because Mother Yashoda was engaging me and preparing for this festival, Govardhan Puja. So I'm really sorry that I could not come on time." And then she understood and she let him go. But then Krishna said something really amazing. I have the direct quote here. He said, the golden girdle belt which you have offered to me around my stomach will cause me to be known as Damodar. There is no name dearer to me in all the three worlds. Those who chant this name always will achieve all perfections. Having obtained the rarest gift of my bhakti, they will achieve my abode. Dear Radha, I will manifest this pastime in the material world when I will be bound by my mother to a mortar using various ropes. Isn't that beautiful? Such a nice pastime. So that's the original pastime. And Srimati Radharani, actually, she likes to listen to Mother Yashoda when she does household chores and she sings about Krishna. So when she hears this pastime of Damodar Lila, she remembers with great affection how she was also able to bind Krishna, and she becomes even more determined to serve Krishna and make him love her more. So this is the origin of the pastime. So of course one of the main messages of this pastime is how we can bind Krishna with our love. But as sadhakas, how do we do this? So the answer is actually the famous principle of 2 fingers too short. Would someone like to say what each finger represents, or what this means actually? What do they represent?
Endeavor and devotion.
Mercy.
Mercy.
Yeah. Endeavor and mercy. So actually it's amazing how this principle comes from very far back. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned it in his commentaries on Bhagavatam, Jiva Goswami also, and Srinath Chakravarti, who is said to have made the first Gaudiya commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. He also mentioned this, and he's the spiritual master of Kavi Karnapur, who is the son of Shivananda Sen. And apparently when he was a baby, he saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he grabbed his lotus toe and started to suck on his toe. So that's such an amazing... And all the devotees said Hari Bol, and so that's him. And so this is a really important explanation for us, because we need both endeavor and mercy, right? So endeavor means Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that there are actually many. He says endeavor means that we make the effort to come into the association of the devotees. This is endeavor, and we know that endeavor also means that we keep doing service and following our principles, even when it's difficult, when we have no taste to chant, we still chant. All of these things are so pleasing to Krishna, because especially when it's very hard, like when we're going through some difficulties, if we just keep going and we don't abandon Krishna, we keep taking shelter, he becomes very pleased and touched by that. So yeah, we have to endeavor to serve. But actually, endeavor is not enough. We also need Krishna's mercy, right? In the end, we can't do anything without Krishna's mercy. And for example, there was this story that Mahatma Prabhu said one disciple of Srila Prabhupada left Prabhupada and took shelter of another guru, and he said to Prabhupada to kind of justify why he left. He said, in order to attain prema, we need to chant 64 rounds. And Prabhupada said, you cannot force Krishna to give you prema even if you chant 100 rounds. So it's really, Krishna is a person, right? So he has the free will to give us mercy or not. So it's not that we can go to the kingdom of God by our own strength or by just forcing ourselves through it, making Krishna give us Krishna prema. But fortunately for us, Krishna is by nature very merciful, right? He's so kind, and it's actually easy to attract Krishna's mercy. How do we attract Krishna's mercy? Would someone like to give some ideas?
Attract Lord Chaitanya's mercy.
Attract Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Yeah. Anything else?
Please the spiritual master.
He's the spiritual master. Yeah. He also gave another story about this. He said there was a sannyasi disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur who wanted to do parikram of Mother Ganga. So he asked blessings from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, and he didn't give his permission, but he still did it. And he came back and he told him, I have done this parikram, and Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was displeased and he took away his sannyas. So we cannot, we think we're doing something Krishna conscious, but it should actually be pleasing the person who we're trying to get mercy from, like the spiritual master and Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. So we need to understand what the spiritual master wants from us. Like one time, Prabhupada said, if anyone opens a temple in Japan, I will take him back to Godhead. So, but also he says that you cannot enter the spiritual kingdom even if you have a tinge of material desire. So how is this possible? Prabhupada made this special chant just out of his mercy, and he can do that. Basically, and it's true. Like he would take us personally, he would try to convince Krishna to bring us to the spiritual world if we do this. Other forms of endeavor are faith and determination also. Actually, the jnanis and yogis, they are compared to the baby monkey who is holding the mother's back. And because by their own strength they're trying to hold on, and the monkey is jumping everywhere, and they're in anxiety because it's by their own strength. If they let go, they will fall. But devotees are compared to the kitten, and Krishna is like the mother cat who picks them up by the back of the neck. So the devotee just surrenders and Krishna picks him up and brings him to the spiritual world. But of course, it doesn't mean that we don't do anything. We still need to attract Krishna's mercy. We don't just sit down and wait to give us mercy. So there's another example that illustrates this quite well. It's the baby birds. Srila Bhakti Swarupa Swami talks about this, that when the mother bird comes to feed them, the bird who screams the loudest, who opens their mouth the widest, that bird will get more food than the others actually. So I've actually seen this on videos. It's a fact. So we need to really cry for the mercy, because ultimately it's not our endeavor alone that can attract Krishna's mercy. It's the mood in which we make that effort, the mood of longing for Krishna's mercy. this is what really touches Krishna's heart. That's why all our Vaishnava songs, they're full of prayers of longing. Lala Samayi Partana, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they're always talking about this hankering for perfection. So this intense greed, lolyam, this eagerness, utkanta, these are the things that really attract Krishna's mercy. And and so we do both. We endeavor, we also pray, and sometimes we might think, why is Krishna not answering my prayers? Why am I still struggling? And we can become discouraged sometimes of Krishna's silence or apparent lack of reciprocation with us. But actually, this is very common for Krishna to do. He likes to make his devotees wait because it increases the intensity of their desire. He really wants to bring that out, and he always makes devotees wait. We see even for his appearance, Kamsa was causing so many disturbances. He was killing brahmanas and cows, and they had to really wait for Krishna. The demigods, they always have to go and beg for Krishna to descend, because he wants everyone to really surrender and take shelter of him even more. One of the very excellent examples of this is when Krishna left the gopis at the rasa dance. First he left the gopis, but he was with Radharani, and then he left Srimati Radharani as well. And they were all searching for him for so long, so desperately. And then Krishna, when they found Krishna, he appeared to them again. He explained why he did that. So I'm going to read what he said. This is in Sachinandan Swami's book, Broken Names, and of course in many places. But I liked how he explained it here. He said, listen, O gopis, who cannot understand my real intention. For those souls who worship me through chanting my name and other means, I do not respond immediately. Thus, I make their worship more perfect. Not feeling my presence, those devotees develop deep humility and feel, alas, alas, everything I have done is simply useless. Because I am so unqualified and offensive, Krishna has not even shown me the slightest favor. Let me be damned.
Me what?
Be damned. Then he explains, by thinking in such a humble and even desperate way, the fire of repentance burns away all the remaining traces of lust and anger in a devotee's heart. And pure devotion, full of power and brilliance, shines forth like the rays of the sun when the clouds have disappeared. Of course, Srimati Radharani and the gopis and Mother Yashoda don't need to burn up any traces of lust and anger. For them, it just increases their love. Their love is already infinite, but having to wait for Krishna or make efforts, like Mother Yashoda, we see in the verse, she's running after Krishna. It's very tiring, and her hair is becoming loose, the flowers are falling down. So this all means that she was making so much effort. And it was just out of love for Krishna, because she thought that if I don't correct my son, he will become a thief. And also she was afraid that Krishna was going to leave, because he was very restless and he wanted to maybe leave the house and run away. So she wanted to keep him near, and therefore her determination was so great. Her friends were telling her, after she used all the ropes in the houses and the ropes of their houses, they said, Mother Yashoda, I think it's not Krishna's destiny to be tied today. But she said, no, I'm determined, I have to tie him up. So Krishna submitted himself, because when the devotee is stubborn and Krishna is stubborn, the devotee's stubbornness actually wins, and Krishna becomes submissive, and he accepted being tied. But he didn't want to be tied. And it's not possible to tie him, right? Because he has the whole creation in his belly. He is Hiranyagarbha. So, but yeah, it really increased her love for him, and same for the gopis. Their love became so intense after this pastime of looking for him. So I just wanted to talk about how we can apply this in our lives. As we go through this intense longing for Krishna's mercy, actually we should not feel like, why is Krishna, not answering? Because we understand that from these pastimes that he's just doing it to increase, and then he will reciprocate, and we will get the nectar. We should have faith and confidence in Krishna's mercy and kindness. And Krishna is actually so personal and so accessible that even if we are really fallen, we can talk to him. It's not that we should think that, I can't pray to Krishna because he's not going to listen to me. I'm so disgusting, so full of anarthas and everything. Krishna is really happy to hear what we have to say and actually to help us. There's a story that took place in Vrindavan with Srila Prabhupada. One devotee came to him and he said, Srila Prabhupada, I have so many problems, I don't know what to do. And then Srila Prabhupada said, just go to Krishna Balaram, we're in Vrindavan, right? So go to the deities and tell them everything. Tell them all your problems, reveal your mind to them, and you just present this before them. Dear sirs, this is the problem. And you ask for help. So the devotee did exactly that. He went the next day or the same day. He prayed to them, Krishna and Balaram, he told them everything, and he begged for their help. And magically, all his problems started to disappear one after the other within the next few days, immediately after he started this prayer. So he was amazed that Krishna is actually so accessible. And the thing is, Krishna is not giving his mercy also because we have free will and we decided to turn away from him, to come here in the material world and enjoy. So he's just waiting for the green light where we turn to him and we say, okay, yes, Krishna, I actually want to come back to you now. And then he's so happy to start helping us. And even if we don't have a desire to serve Krishna, we can pray to have a desire to serve Krishna. It's like what Jayapataka Swami was saying, you have to cry for Krishna. And if you cannot cry for Krishna, you have to cry for Krishna. And if you cannot cry for Krishna, you have to cry for Krishna. And you just keep going, you try to find something, some feeling. Like Sachidananda Swami always says, you have to chant with not just attention but also affection. And I was thinking, how do I have affection for Krishna? I don't have affection for Krishna. And then then he said, you can pray, Krishna, please accept me and please awaken the desire in me to serve you and to love you. Please reawaken my love for you. So at least that we can do, right? Yeah, so I also feel like in my life there were times when it was very difficult and I didn't know what was the answer, but I spoke to Krishna like this story of the devotee and to Krishna Balaram And then immediately there were answers coming from different places, from different devotees. There was immediately I would feel Krishna's answer and reciprocation. Oh, Krishna actually cares for me, he's helping me now. So I just want to say that it works for everyone, even me. So, yeah. Okay, we have only 15 minutes left. Okay. Yeah. So first, I would ask: does anyone have any questions or comments or corrections? Please correct me if I have said anything incorrect. No? Okay. Then, yes.
I just have a correction.
Yes, please.
But it's just a very small practical correction. You have nicely spoken for half an hour. If you had spoken the same thing in 1 hour, I could have grasped them better. So
Sorry, I was fast. Yeah, I was afraid to run out of time. Okay, so if we have a little time, I actually wanted to ask you if you can remember any time in your life when you were going through some difficult time and you prayed to Krishna and you felt that he made some mystical arrangements, he did something to help you.
Yeah, after a few months of jumping into the fire of Krishna consciousness, I was confused. You know, what I'm doing here, what did I do, what to do. So I prayed daily, please Krishna, you know, too much, you know. Take me out of here, and so I can reflect back a little and come back. It's too intense. So next day, I received a letter from the army.
Oh.
Yeah, it's time for you to go to army. I went there, and very quickly I was put in jail.
Oh my God.
I was distributing books in the army camp.
Wow.
And I spent there for 3 weeks alone in a cell.
Wow.
And it was very, very nice. I could really go down, chant Hare Krishna, pray, you know, very good. I really saw Krishna.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
And when I came back, anyway, a little story, but
Yes, please.
when I came back, just the day Prabhupada was arriving here, I
Wow.
just took a drink back and okay, back into it.
Amazing. Wow.
Yes, Krishna was really, really answering, really, still very grateful to them.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. It reminds me of, I mean, it's not, the same, but in the way that it was instant. I think Hari Vilas Prabhu was mentioning in the Paris temple, Radha Parisheshwar temple, they were awaiting Srila Prabhupada's arrival, and they had no money. They didn't even have money to buy flowers or get a taxi to get Prabhupada from the airport. So he was really, really praying intensely, and then he went in the temple room and he saw a brown bag in front of the deities, and he looked in the bag, and it was full of money. So he thought, I will wait for some time. If nobody comes to take this bag, I will spend every penny for Prabhupada. And nobody came, so he managed to get the taxi, the flowers, the prasad, everything, and they were able to welcome Srila Prabhupada. So Krishna is the swift deliverer. He carries what you like. Yes?
I just wanted to tell a short story regarding like the devotee who waits for Krishna's
Reciprocation.
reciprocation, sometimes for a very long time. It was reported by Madame Prabhu from Dinabandhu Prabhu's story that he heard in Vrindavan in one place. And he said that this Pujari had been worshipping Krishna Balaram deity for 30, 40, or 50 years, or maybe more than that. And then he was very disappointed because he really wanted to have darshan of Krishna Balaram. So he was, at one point he was so disappointed that he said, okay, I'm leaving, I'm stopping the puja. So the day he was going, all the devotees around that small village or small hamlet, they were saying goodbye to him, and then he went away, and then he turned back to say goodbye one last time, and he saw all the devotees, and he saw in the midst, he saw Krishna Balaram saying goodbye to him. And then he fainted, and then the devotees revived, woke him up, and he told the story, and then he left his body, went back to
Wow.
So we can see how long he waited for Krishna's reciprocation, but Krishna never gave up on him. I mean, at the last moment. Amazing story.
Amazing. Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Would you like to translate it into French? Or
After that, after that,
Yeah.
story. Yeah. After that.
anyone else would like to share?
We prayed for a long time. The
Yeah.
deities to put back New Mayapur on track. And it came.
Yes. Mhm.
And it came.
Wow,
Thank
it
you.
happened. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's maybe you can translate the story, no?
And do it after, so that we
Okay.
have more time.
We prayed for a long time, so Krishna should
Yeah.
follow that. You come back to us with your family. Okay?
I'm not there yet, but
Hare
Mm.
Krishna.
qu'ils ont cru Krishna pour parler bien, mais qu'on n'est pas encore vraiment.
Mm. Yeah, I noticed it often feels like Krishna takes too long to help us. He just waits till that moment when we're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is too much, and then he comes at that moment. Krishna's timing is perfect. He has his own timing. It's really amazing. I also felt like in my life that everything is so slow, and why I'm still, here. And but then, slowly I saw after many years that it was all for the best. Actually, I needed to go through this time of waiting desperately, praying, taking shelter, because if we get it too quickly, it's like the build-up is not there, and something is missing, and so we really need to build up that intense loriam. And but at the same time, he will always help us if we tell Krishna that I really need help now. Then he will do something to help us. And we always have, the devotees and everything to help us, to support us. And like I mentioned before, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, endeavor means to come to the association of devotees. That's an effort we can make. Actually, as spirit souls, infinitesimal spirit souls, we don't have much power or capacity for anything. We can't even take ourselves out of the material world at all. But one thing we have is free will. We can offer our free will, use it to ask Krishna to help us. we can have the desire. Yeah, that's all we have is basically desire, right? The soul has desire, and therefore Krishna is waiting for that one offering that we can give. Everything else belongs to him. Our strength, our self-discipline, our intelligence, everything belongs to him. It's from him. But he wants this unique relationship we can offer Krishna, and that's why he takes care of every single one of us personally. We are special to him. It's amazing to think that we are special to Krishna. Yeah. Yes?
I can tell a story about how Krishna can respond very quickly in one sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's long, but it was because I was in Bordeaux. I was with my children, and it was becoming difficult with the boys because they were becoming stronger and stronger, and it was difficult. And at one time I was saying, I had a very beautiful picture of Krishna Balaram. I have still in my home here. And I praise to Krishna Balaram. I say, I cannot do it anymore. It's too much for me. So I say, you have to come and help me. I cannot do it. And it's so strange because I never say something like that. Come and help me. It's impossible for a devotee to say, Krishna, come and help me. So the night, Dhananjaya Prabhu from here, he phoned and he said, do you want deity of Krishna Balaram in your home?
Wow!
And we were so surprised. He said, yes. And he came right, the day he came and he brought beautiful Krishna Balaram and Gaurita, and I am still here now in New Mayapur, and I was so impressed how Krishna did it, I was waiting before asking Krishna, and when I asked, it was immediately.
Wow. That's just what he was waiting for, actually, right?
Maybe, yes.
My God, you just called for help and he personally came to you.
Deity form.
Amazing. Oh my God. Wow. Thank you so much. Any more pastimes to share? Yes, Prabhuji.
It's not pastime, it's a reflection or question. Praying to Krishna for help, okay? In the right mood. We can pray for, serving with love, which is, or we can pray also to help for surrender.
Oh, wow.
Surrender to Krishna.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly the same, but it's the same. It's not exactly surrender, unless you surrender, you cannot love.
Yeah.
So it's two levels. One is like, first level is praying to Krishna to surrender. Often, always, it's not easy for a conditioned soul to surrender.
Yeah.
See Krishna in everything and you surrender. Please Krishna, help me to surrender. And also, of course, please Krishna, I want to develop some affection, some love for you, to offer you something with love, Patran Pushpam. So it's the same, different. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, thank you so much. I actually wanted to talk about surrender, and I forgot it was in my notes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about the different components of surrender, right? The different petals, the 6 angas of surrender. Does anyone want to say what those 6 are?
not do what is not pleasing to Krishna, to accept him as the one who's going to maintain me, the one who is protecting me, to humility and full surrender.
Thank you. Yeah,
Full dependence.
I think it's so nice to meditate on this because it really breaks it down for us, accepting what's favorable and association, reading principles, chanting, all of this, and rejecting what's unfavorable, like the non-devotee association or the four principles, that's rejecting some things. And then accepting Krishna as our only maintainer. That is such a beautiful thing to meditate on. That yes, I am working and whatever, maybe I'm maintaining a family, I'm trying to maintain myself, but actually Krishna is the one who is maintaining me and my family. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he always sings like, my family, they're actually your servants, and I'm serving them because they're your servants and they're your property. We're all, this is your household, and I am just the servant. And so yeah, we can always think like this, and then Krishna is our only protector. Lord Nishingadev, he is always there to protect the devotees on Sankirtan or whatever. Also, if we have a very severe health issue, Nishingadev is the one who is ready to. He's the one we ask for help in these cases, and we see very often he immediately saves the devotee even for these things, and because we might think, I should not ask Krishna for anything material, I should not ask for help, but actually we don't know anyone else but Krishna. We can only, whatever we need, we ask him, and of course the health is also for serving him. But even if we have something that's completely, material, we can still, we should not be shy to talk about it to Krishna and tell him, I have this desire, so please do something about it. Either take it away from me or fulfill it in such a way that is not detrimental to my service, or something like that. So yeah, protector, and then humility. What's interesting about humility, I heard, is that you can actually fake it till you make it. you can just go through the motions of humility. You can always give credit to the devotees and to Guru. In the beginning, it might be a bit mechanical. You pay obeisance, you always say, by Krishna's mercy, I could do this. You kind of go through the motions, and eventually you will develop real humility. You'll start to have the feeling that really, actually, this is not me. It's really Krishna's grace. And full surrender. I guess this comes after you do all of those. You get to full surrender. And I don't have enough realization about full surrender, obviously, but I think it can be cultivated by prayer, and prayer is something I feel it's so it's one of the most accessible parts of spiritual life, right? Because even if you are sick in bed with high fever, you can still, if you have a little bit of consciousness, you can still pray. You can go, oh Krishna, please, save me. So I think this is so kind that Krishna allows us to access him like this. And of course, chanting Hare Krishna is prayer. And yeah, so much of everything we do is prayer, begging for mercy. Oh, it's already 9 o'clock, so I guess we can end here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.